Hello and welcome to a special program of Cricket Predicta brought to you by 1xBet. We're making infrastructures, Delhi NCR. Well, very seldom we start a show with not a program of the cricket match, but of a person. Yes, and the person who had great impact on Indian cricket. We're talking about Rohit Sharma, one of the most swashbuckling batters. We remember watching him play the last test match of Sachin Tendulkar, where he bid adieu at the Wankhede Stadium. Such Rohit Sharma has been following the footsteps of some of the legendary Indian cricketers. We thought he will get a huge round of applause and a great send off, but it wasn't the case to be. He's announced his retirement from the Test cricket effective immediately. Yes. One of India's most dependable and stylish batters in the longest format has decided to hang up his Test boots. There have been whispers about Rohit's play in the next WTC cycle, but this is not going to be the case. Now, the youngsters will have to carry forward the burden and take forward the discussion and the on-match proficiency. Will the team start grooming a new captain? Now the wait is over and the chapter closes on glorious red ball career of Rohit Sharma. We bid him a respectable adieu. But before we let go of Rohit Sharma, what do you see on your stats right now? Television, he's played 67 test matches, scored 4,301 runs, hit 12 hundreds and 18 50s, and finished off with a solid batting average of 40, which is big deal in Test cricket. He wasn't just a batter, he was at times the backbone of the team, giving the sheet anchor role and also scoring those magnificent 200 runs, which he was known for. Well, that's our tribute to Rohit Sharma, but let's move our focus to the match that happened last night. Kolkata batted first and posted a total of 179 for 6, a total that looked competitive. But CSK, in classic style, held their nerves and chased it down in 19.4 overs. Yes, we're talking about Kolkata and CSK batting together to put up a brilliant match, which happened, of course. That's win number 3 for Chennai in the season, and trust me, the playoff race is heating up like never before. But before we get on to today's game, let's get a man in the motion, Paul Dinette, the podcaster from Sydney, Australia. Paul, after scalping 5 wickets for just 60 runs in the second innings, did KKR lack the attacking approach and the dominance to completely wipe this game?
Yeah, well, I mean, this is the sort of thing that I always say, and I say it so often, that sides get into potentially winning position, they've taken lots of wickets, and then there's that urge of saying, oh, well, if we can have a few overs where they're only scoring mainly in singles, then the run rate required is going up, and we're feeling really secure. But it often backfires. And I think it wasn't so much at the fall of the 5th wicket that I think it was the big concern. It was that the fall of the next wicket and the partnership that Dhoni and Shivam Dubey were able to have, where it was clear that Dhoni's attitude was, unless it's a rank long hop, I'm going to try to push a single here. And I think that that's when they needed to say, right, well, we've got to bring an extra fielder or two into the circle and prevent that from happening and really force the issue, take another wicket, and then things could have looked very different. But it's a criticism that I've levelled at captains, for many years. And it's an easy criticism for me to say here watching on, not there in the heat of the moment. Because in the heat of the moment, I totally understand it. That the last thing you want to do, bring in an extra fielder or two and see the ball smoked to the boundary and you feel like a fool. And Dhoni certainly could have done that to them. But I still think that that's the right thing to do. I know in the end, CSK almost left it too late and KKR almost still won. But I agree with you. I think there was the time to really go for the jugular a little bit earlier.
Was it only the 11th over, 30 runs of just 6 deliveries, that completely turned the tables in CSK's favour, where Vaibhav Arora bowled to CSK batter Dole Davis?
All right, here's a really bad joke for you. Did you see the tennis last night? No? Yeah, it was Vaibhav Arora was playing Deval Brevis. Yeah, in the end, Brevis won 6-4, 4-6, 6-4. That was those were the scoring shots in that 30-run over. And wow, some of the power. I mean, at least twice that you felt sorry for the individuals, especially the one that he hit straight back down the ground. And, you know, it's a discussion for another day, but I do think that there needs to be some sort of lightweight protective headgear for bowlers to wear, certainly for umpires to wear as well, because there are times when you sort of think as a bowler, oh, I'd be able to react and throw my hands up. But then sometimes when a batter really middles one, you realise that that's just not an option. If it's going to hit you, there's nothing you can do, and it would be pretty catastrophic. Aurora would say he missed his length. There's far too many full tosses for Brevis to hit. But it was a spectacular over, and Brevis has shown plenty of potential, and last night really underlined that.
How do you rate and assess the journey of the defending champions KKR in the ongoing 2025 IPL, considering the ups and downs that they faced, considering the big players that they have, the all-rounders, the Sunil Narayans of the world, everything? But is it falling into place, or they're just losing the plot?
Yeah, well, it's been a disappointing season. The defending champions, you would have expected them to, at the very least, be in strong playoff contention this late in the season, and last night's result puts an end to that. I'm sure that they regret letting go Shreyas Iyer. They probably couldn't have foreseen that he'd have such a magnificent season at the Punjab Kings, but certainly his runs would have been very, very useful for them. Quinton de Kock, Venkatesh Iyer didn't really pan out as things might have been expected to. And ultimately, I think their batting, that was their main issue, that you didn't really have anyone scoring a lot of runs at good pace. So that's a serious problem for them. They just didn't get that output, and those that were scoring at a decent pace weren't scoring enough. They probably point a couple of games early in the season, the loss to Lucknow that they looked like they had it won. And then one of the big ones was the loss to Punjab Kings, when Punjab defended a total of, 111 or something. And I think it was the lowest total ever successfully defended. To get crushed, knocked over for 90 odd in that game was particularly disappointing. So, you can't win them all. It is a very even competition, but no matter which way you look at it, Kolkata Knight Riders have had a very poor season.
Well, Paul, we've got to talk about a little bit about sentimentals, emotions, and feelings. Yes. Do you see any kind of similarities between the farewell of Ravichandra Ashwin, who's still playing in the IPL, and Rohit Sharma, who's decided to hang up his boots last evening? Do you see the similarities between the two, or are we just getting a little too emotional because this was the writing was on the wall and it was inevitable? Your views?
Well, at the time, I was much more shocked by Ashwin's retirement. That was at the time, seemed to come as a bolt from the blue. Later, when you realise that it seems as though Ashwin, after a fairly disappointing series against Bangladesh, I don't think he's all that keen to come to Australia, and had said, I'll come as long as I'm going to be playing in all of the matches. And then when they started, they left him out of the first test, and he only had played that one test in Adelaide. I think he just thought, that's it, I've had enough, I want to go. And I suppose in hindsight, he probably regrets even coming to Australia, and could have made the retirement prior to coming here and not leaving mid-tour. But as far as Rohit Sharma, he was really struggling in the Australian series, and just his form in the last year or so in red ball cricket especially has really dipped. He didn't look all that at ease as captain either. And I just thought that after he had sort of stood down for the Sydney Test match, that it would make sense for him just to retire from Test cricket. But it seems as though that's not what he was going to do. Every indication in the recent weeks, he was kind of talking on podcasts as though he was going to be in England leading the side, and the reporting coming out is that it was told to him by the selectors that he wasn't going to be captain for England, and thus he's made the decision to retire. I think that's the right decision by the selectors, because I think that they do need to move beyond him. And he's a wonderful player, Rohit Sharma. Finishes with an interesting Test career, and a very fine average of 40.5, about 50 at home and 30 away, which, these things can happen. You have certainly some players who do perform much better at home than away, but a very fine record. I didn't expect him to really do well in England if he was going to be over there. It would be difficult against the English ball, the Duke's ball in those seeming conditions. And I did think that the side looked better when Bumrah was captain rather than Rohit Sharma. So I think it's the right decision, but probably it would have been better for him to be able to make it on his own terms completely. But I certainly don't blame the selectors for being a little bit ruthless.
Well, talking about farewells, it's never too easy to let go of one of the greatest servant of the Indian cricket, someone who's not only captained his side, but also the national side with ICC trophies in the cabinet. But do you think he deserved a little better farewell, or is it too muted down considering a man of Rohit Sharma's stature? Your views?
Well, at the time, I was much more shocked by Ashwin's retirement. That was at the time, seemed to come as a bolt from the blue. Later, when you realise that it seems as though Ashwin, after a fairly disappointing series against Bangladesh, had sort of, I don't think he's all that keen to come to Australia, and had said, I'll come as long as I'm going to be playing in all of the matches. And then when they started, they left him out of the first test, and he only had played that one test in Adelaide. I think he just thought, that's it, I've had enough, I want to go. And I suppose in hindsight, he probably regrets even coming to Australia, and could have made the retirement prior to coming here and not leaving mid-tour. But as far as Rohit Sharma, he was really struggling in the Australian series, and just his form in the last year or so in red ball cricket especially has really dipped. He didn't look all that at ease as captain either. And I just thought that after he had sort of stood down for the Sydney Test match, that it would make sense for him just to retire from Test cricket. But it seems as though that's not what he was going to do. Every indication in the recent weeks, he was kind of talking on podcasts as though he was going to be in England leading the side. And the reporting coming out is that it was told to him by the selectors that he wasn't going to be captain for England, and thus he's made the decision to retire. I think that's the right decision by the selectors, because I think that they do need to move beyond him. And he's a wonderful player, Rohit Sharma. Finishes with an interesting Test career, and a very fine average of 40.5, about 50 at home and 30 away, which, these things can happen. You have certainly some players who do perform much better at home than away, but a very fine record. I didn't expect him to really do well in England if he was going to be over there. It would be difficult against the English ball, the Duke's ball in those seeming conditions. And I did think that the side looked better when Bumrah was captain rather than Rohit Sharma. So I think it's the right decision, but probably it would have been better for him to be able to make it on his own terms completely. But I certainly don't blame the selectors for being a little bit ruthless.
Well, thank you very much, Paul Tinnett. Now we get Stanley Chioza from the Sport of Cricket Academy in Emirates Hills, Dubai. He is the former coach of the Zimbabwean cricket team and gives an absolute sharp looks at a sharp eye on this match today. Of course, it's now Punjab Kings taking over Delhi Capitals, and folks, it's not just another match. It's make or break. If Punjab wins, they are in the playoffs, and if Delhi wins, their playoff hopes stay alive. Yes, high tension, high altitude, high stakes, head to head. Out of 33 matches, Punjab has the edge with 17 matches that they have won, while Delhi has 16. So it's anybody's game practically as we get into the match today. Of course, we need to see how both the skippers look into it. But before we give our opinion, it's best to ask Stanley Chioza. Stanley, Punjab has dominated head-to-head clash against Delhi, 17 versus 16. Do you think it's going to be any kind of a moral advantage with just one extra game in their bag, or it's going to be even Stevens for them? Your views?
So no, it certainly is a massive boost in terms of moral inspiration, in the sense that all this kind of a record is there at a time, and it came at a time when Punjab Kings were supposedly not even playing their best cricket yet. And this season it's coming at a time when they are playing their best cricket. So up and above that, not only are they playing their best cricket, but if you look at the venue where they're playing the cricket today, Dharamshala, they played versus Lucknow Super Giants there, and they recorded a fantastic victory, 37-run victory versus Lucknow Super Giants, 236. The score was on the scoreboard for 5 wickets. Massive batting performance once again from the Punjab Kings top order. Shreyas Iyer obviously in the runs, but importantly that opening partnership doing what it does best and doing what it has been doing throughout the season. So a massive boost coming in the sense that Dharamshala is a venue where they did not have very good results, but now they've found a formula, they've found a winning method, and they're coming into this. There's no better feeling than knowing you're playing on a ground where you've just registered a wicket. Sim conditions are prevalent, seamers were fantastic, Ashdeep was very good. 3 early wickets and up and above in total, 6 wickets amongst the seamers. So obviously Delhi Capitals coming into this one with a shaky batting lineup, with a batting lineup that is not stable. These are the lines of weaknesses that Punjab Kings will be looking very closely, and obviously will be looking to try and capitalize on. Yes, there's Mitchell Starc, and there as well. We know he likes to bowl against the Kings, 7 wickets already in 4 matches against them. They know he likes to swing the ball, and these conditions will obviously suit Mitchell Starc as well. So they're wary of that, but up and above that, I do not see a changed team, and I do not see a changing tactics. They'll still have to go hard up and above that, try and make sure that the top order continues to do what it does best, to give the middle order an opportunity. For they have not had a massive stay at the wicket, so you just have to make sure the top order continues to score runs. But importantly, no bigger inspiration than playing at a venue that you have won before, and obviously now you have a massive idea of the do's and don'ts with regards to playing at Dharamshala.
Thank you, Stanley. We move on to our second question. Question is Delhi Capitals had a brilliant run in the current season with 5 successive wins, but they failed in the last few games. What have they lacked in these games than what they have lost? What is your opinion about it?
So now when you look at the IPL and how it's gone about this season, when you look at the log table, the majority of the teams that are at the top have been reliant on their top order. Their top order batsmen have been scoring runs. However, with regards to batting effort, we can't really say the same for Delhi Capitals. They have been struggling at the top of the order. Jake Fraser-McGurk was brilliant last season. Come this season, a different story altogether. He has since lost his place in the team, but up and above him losing his place in the team, the replacements that have come have not really owned that position. Five individuals have already been tried to try and come up with a method to try and close that gap, but that hasn't worked. Karun Nair came to the party, showed his brilliance, but every now and then he's been changed into that batting lineup. So therein lies the problem. And now today you find yourself playing at Dharamshala, a surface that has movement, lateral movement for a very long period. We saw how Ashdeep bowled to Lucknow in the last match, where they won by 37 runs, took 3 wickets up the order, swinging it both ways. Then there once again lies the challenge for that Delhi Capitals top order. They've had to rely on KL Rahul, but mostly when he's had to open and come up the order, he scored brilliantly with that aggressive intent. But every now and then, when you also look at his stats, some of the runs that he scored them at a very slow rate, subpar rate. Therein lies the difference. He's playing 2 different modes of a game, whereas other teams, the batsmen that are in form, are playing that one game. They're going in, they're being aggressive. They're not thinking too much about anchoring and holding fort, which is what Delhi Capitals have forced KL Rahul to do, which is a very, very difficult position to find yourself in. Okay, he's a run scorer. He needs to maintain that job. Glenn Maxwell has been out of the picture, pretty much doing bowling duties. Now it's an injury. He's injured. That means he's out for the rest of the season. Marcus Stoinis has to take responsibility, has to come to the party. He has to help in that middle to the bottom order. He has the ability to clear the boundaries. So today, massive challenge playing at Dharamshala. More importantly, playing as a team that has got good momentum. Not only good momentum, but they've found a way to win at Dharamshala. So plenty of work that needs to be done in terms of the batting, and hopefully someone like a Mitchell Starc, who's got the ability to swing the ball at pace, can find a rhythm and hopefully make that breakthrough in the top order batting of Punjab Kings nature, which has fantastic stats at the moment. 406, third highest opening partnership for Punjab Kings in the tournament. So this is brilliant. So Delhi Capitals have a lot of work to do, but not all hope is lost, because they're in a fantastic position to they win this game, get the 2 points, and find themselves possibly on top of Mumbai Indians by virtue of net run rate.
Well, there you had it. There was Stanley Chiozza. Thank you, Stanley. We'll now invite umpire, the smiling assassin, the slow death. His name is Anil Chaudhary. Of course, the world known him as one of the best exponents and the umpires of the modern day cricket. But I've seen him bat, I've seen him bowl off spinner, I've seen and in fact played with his younger brother, Harinder Harry, as we all know him. He's one of the best minds of the game who joins us on the show. Welcome to the show, Anil. Anil, will PBKS think of an extra pacer, considering they're playing at the advantageous place and which assists a player of the pace and everything put together? Your views.
In Dharamshala, Punjab did very well in last game, and yes, we know that Dharamshala pitch has helped for seamer, especially in the initial overs, but the pitch plays totally different in the last game, and I don't think Punjab is going to make any changes in winning squad. They will go with the three seamers, Arshdeep, Johnson and Stonish as third one, and maybe that Afghanistan bowler, because Stonish can be considered as batsman who can bowl. He is batting all-rounder. So Punjab will continue with the more or less same team, hardly one change here or there, but overall unit will be same.
Anil, we have to talk about the moral advantage here with Shreyas Iyyar's batting form for Punjab. Do you think his batting alone can bring Punjab back into the game? Your views.
For Punjab, Shreya Iyer is doing very well, and whenever he is scoring, team is in comfortable position. And this year, because he has come from KKR and his experience as a batter, as a captain, the Punjab is a different team altogether, and a lot of credit goes to uh, Shreyas Iyer's batting plus his leadership quality. So Shreyas Iyer is very, very important for Punjab, and I think he is again going to dominate in batting and will be a threat for Delhi Capital in this game in Dharamshala.
Anil, we've spoken about IPL, the game, the matches, the players, but let's take a step back and go down the memory lane. 2013, Rohit Sharma makes his Test debut. 6 years after his ODI debut, do you believe the records and things would have been much different had he started playing Test cricket from, let's say, 2008, 9, 10? Your views on this?
Rohit Sharma started as a white ball player in 2013, and after 6 years, he made his Test debut, which was very late, and such a talent. I think his records would have been much better, and the way he played the game in Test matches, also the way he handled red ball, we have seen in number of years, and I think bit early start in Test matches for him would have been better for him, for his records, and for of course Indian team. Such a smooth batsman he is, and brilliant technique. It's a treat to watch him.
This is an additional and a personal question on Rohit Sharma. What is your favorite memory of Rohit Sharma? Yes, your favorite on field memory that you would like to share with our viewers, and what's your personal favorite moment? Your views.
If I remember Rohit Sharma when I met him first time, I still remember I did a Ranji Trophy game in CCI in Mumbai. It was Rajasthan versus Mumbai, and I think from Rajasthan it was Akash Chopra and the team which won Ranji Trophy that year. Rohit came, batted, such a simple technique he had, and he scored 100. And I asked the coach, who is he? Then coach said, Mumbai coach said, no, he's a good player and he's scoring everywhere. Then again in Ranji Trophy, I think this time in Wankhede, he batted again, he scored a century. And he was too good on back foot. And after some time, he was batting like he was singing. Such a good player he was. And then I think in one of the then he bowled off spin also from my end in Test match. India versus England in Chennai. And he's a very upfront guy. He's like next door boy. He can say whatever he wants on the ground. I still remember he was standing at mid wicket in one day and he appealed for stumping. I said not out. The back foot batsman was on back foot. He said, no, you please refer, because those days the protocol of stumping was first we used to check caught behind with ultra-eyes, then followed by square leg angle. So I said, why? But the batsman is on the back foot. No, you please refer because we'll check caught behind also. I said, why? No, Australian team is doing this and they are manipulating. I said, I don't know. I can't refer because the batsman is on the back foot. And then next over he laughed. He said, you don't come under pressure. Such a good guy, like always smiling. Rohit is like treat to watch as a batter.
Well, now it's very important to talk about the stadium. Of course, it has changed. In Dharamshala, the team batting first had different point of view, but in today's match, what do you think the team is going to behave in today's structure?
Exactly trained last night. Apart from that, the wicket has been very helpful to the batters, but the swinging conditions has helped a lot of fast bowlers as well. I mean, if you could see what happened in the last game, the new ball bowlers were swinging the ball well. They were hitting the deck well. Although it was a high scoring game where Punjab scored 236, a massive 236 against Lucknow Super Giants, which was won by eventually Punjab. But then again, yeah, teams that has batted first have always benefited here. And 9 matches, you can see the statistics, 9 compared to the last 14, 15 games. So I think it's the team's call that wins the toss has to bat first, put up a good total, because the evenings will see. And it rained last night, by the way. That is, I wanted to inform you. It rained last night and it's raining in bits and pieces. I think the fast bowlers will also have a say. Apart from that, the batters will enjoy on this particular surface in Dharamshala. Although the stadium, the airport of the city, Dharamshala, has been closed because of the tensions between India and Pakistan, but the match won't be affected. Hence, I think the plans of Punjab, whether Punjab or Delhi Capitals, which is struggling right now to get back into form, having lost 2 games in the last few matches, maybe 4 or 5, but they will be looking to get back in form, get a full match in this IPL, and they would be looking to get back in the top 4. I mean, the way they start winning the first 4 games, after that their forms dwindled massively, and I think this is the time for Delhi Capitals to bounce back, but it won't be easy against Punjab Super Kings. So I think whatever teams decide, and maybe it's Punjab is going to be the favorite, whoever wins the toss.
Well, Toss, this is some statistical delight. Punjab Kings with 72 fours and 34 sixes have smashed or more boundaries as compared to DC in this IPL. Do you think that's going to be a different kind of a form and a different kind of potent missile, considering we're talking about explosive batting? Your views?
It's not a tough question, right? It's not a tough question. The way Punjab has played their cricket this season, it's been with a lot of positive, with a lot of aggression and a lot of intent. So there is no question about it who's going to be more lethal with the bat. Of course, Punjab, and mind you, Delhi Capitals, obviously, which has been struggling with form. The reason behind their failure has been their top order batsmen. They have massively changed a lot of top order batsmen. They have not been consistent with their opening pair, and the reason they have struggled in the later stages of the tournament. But I think here Punjab has the say. They have Prabh Simran Singh, they have Priyansh Arya, they have a top heavy middle order, including Shreyas Iyer, the captain, who's been fantastic this season as well. The consistency proves their batting has been very, very little. Yeah, they may lack somewhere or the other in the bowling side, but if you talk about the batting, it's Punjab all the way. 72 boundaries is massive. But then you look at the batting as batting wicket as well. I mean, Punjab has struggled initially, losing a lot of matches in Dharamshala, but then suddenly this has become their favorite ground. Obviously, they scored 236 in the previous game, but they restricted Lucknow Super Giants in the last game. But then again, I would say it's Punjab all the way. They have a strong batting order, top order, and which makes a lot of difference in the IPL. I mean, if you see, Delhi Capital has lost the last few games because of their lack of consistency in their top order. But then Punjab's consistency is because of their strong top order, and that is the reason they are going to be very, very lethal.
Well, there you had it. You had four of the best voices of the game talking in Cricket Predictor, talking about story, stats, drama, data, everything put together. And also, the most important thing, the sentimental farewell of Rohit Sharma, who's currently playing, but he's made his announcement last night. This is Sunil Yashkalra signing off from the beautiful Marbella Resorts, and you could see the Flag Island at the back in the Sharjah Cornish area. We're requesting you not to go anywhere else. We'll be back after a short commercial break. Don't touch the remote.